Hi, my name is ColdBeer, and let's start with Deflector. This is a top-down action roguelite where you dive deep into hostile worlds teeming with viruses. You will encounter increasingly challenging enemies with your weapons and their own deflected projectiles. You will also have to choose one of several bioshells, each with unique weapons, abilities and means of deflecting projectiles. You know, the name of the game is not just a fancy word. It's your profession, I guess. I can even imagine the job listing for the task.
Must have at least 50 years experience of deflecting. Have to speak native level of Spanish, English, Lithuanian, Ukrainian and Mandarin. Must be proactive, must have experience of koala breeding, taming ostriches and at least PhD in quantum physics. Salary €3 an hour.
To be honest, all the job ads sounds this way. So here every world you'll visit is filled with unique hostile fauna, ready to swarm you with their pathetic bodies and stingy bullets. The game is difficult and dying here will be your daily routine. Every enemy is deadly, from the smallest stuff to the imposing apex virus at the end of each world. But don't you worry, you will learn to overcome every foe through trial and error. Well, honestly, probably not, I'm just being nice, but you may have fun anyway. The review score is close to 90%, so if you like the style, think of getting it.
Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden.
Despite the fact that this is a single-player game, here you will play as a ghost hunter couple who vow to protect the living from the threat of lingering ghosts and specters. In a disastrous last mission, the woman was fatally wounded, becoming one of the spirits. So in the haunted wilds of North America, the couple desperately searches for a way to liberate her from the curse. Basically, the game copies the main aspect of The Witcher. You hunt monsters as your main profession, although the gameplay is more similar to God of War. So in the process, you will immerse yourself in a beautiful story between two fated lovers. As witches, banishers, you will enter the lives of simple communities and solve haunting cases in a mythical, lore-rich world plagued with supernatural creatures and ancient secrets. Sounds cool, and the general public mainly agrees by giving it above 80% positive review score. Rum Gun. If you're searching for something less popular but still good enough to lose your time in, Rum Gun fulfills these criteria and offers even more. This is a game made by only one man, but by playing it you probably couldn't tell that. Also, it is super cheap and it has very positive reviews on Steam. In my opinion, the game is totally underrated. You know, you won't be playing it like Path of Exile day by day. People who left reviews on Steam have from about 4 to around 12 hours of game time on record, but it is really entertaining, and if you like action RPGs like Diablo, it is almost a must-play. I follow the guy on Facebook and I can see that Rum Gun is a passion project. The updates are quite constant, and they not only fix bugs but include tons of additional content as well. BLACKTAIL. Here the choice is yours. Will you become the guardian of the woods or the terror nightmares are made of? You play as Yaga, a 16-year-old girl accused of witchcraft and expelled from a medieval settlement. Well, I know what I would be doing after that. Definitely not helping poor folk from the aforementioned village to heal their sick cattle. No, I would rather secretly put pineapple in their potato salad. Also would turn all their delicious beer into milk.
Milk of a cat.
Yeah, milk of a cat or of a hamster. Anyway, he will decide the fate of the land and its inhabitants, and witness the impact of your decisions on your skills through an implemented morality system. People on Steam are saying that the game feels more mature than the visuals it provides, and the story is really dark and captivating. Resident Evil 4. 6 years have passed since the biological disaster in Raccoon City. You are one of the survivors of the incident, and you have been sent to rescue the president's kidnapped daughter. You track her to a secluded European village where there is something terribly wrong with the locals. They all put pineapple into potato salad. I'm kidding, of course, nothing that horrifying. Those people are just crazy. You know, they want to kill you, mutilate your body and then do something else with it. What a nice place to be, you know? So you will be living this nightmare and you will do your best trying to survive. People are saying that after playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, it was hard to hope that anything can be that level of awesomeness, but Resident Evil 4 does miracles. It is worth your money on sale, off sale, in between sales, in between boobies.
Wait, what?
Shut up. Players are saying that this remake is just excellent, and you know, I can only agree, this game is awesome. BLACKTAIL Requiem. After escaping your devastated homeland, you will travel far south to new regions and various forsaken cities. There you attempt to start a new life and control Hugo's curse. Yeah, the kid is cursed, but you, instead of dropping him into the ocean and forgetting which ocean it was, you travel with him. You know, no Hugo, no problems, but you chose problems. So everything that happens from now on is basically your fault. So when Hugo's powers reawaken, oh surprise, surprise, death and destruction return in a flood of devouring rats you probably all know from the first part of this beautiful game. Forced to flee once more, you place your hopes in a prophesized island that may hold the key to saving Hugo. The game will let you know the price of saving those you love in a desperate struggle for survival, and you ain't gonna like it. You will strike from the shadows or unleash hell, overcoming foes and challenges with a variety of weapons, tools and unearthly powers. People on Steam are talking that this game will make you cry, mostly because of the story, but a tear or two will also drop when you realize that the game is super slow and your movement speed is even slower. Despite that, BLACKTAIL Requiem has about 90% of positive reviews, and if you like story-rich adventure games, it's a must-play sooner or later. Aliens Fireteam Elite. Have you ever wanted to be a protagonist in the Alien movie? Well, I doubt that, I really do. And if yes, what is wrong with you? Anyway, here, after so many fear-infused hours in alien isolation, you can finally get some revenge on these terrifying creatures. You will kill hundreds of them, so it's nothing like the movies. Although it's really fun to play if you have a friend or two. You can play in single player as well, but I assure you that if you want full experience, you will have to find some friends. I know that may be mission impossible, but you can try anyway. You don't need real friends, all you need is some Discord channel with the same-minded people. So here you'll be exploring some friendly planet filled with friendly fauna and live in harmony all together. Except you don't. This game is a carnage where you will have to battle through hordes of different types of xenomorph, customize your character and gear, and level up as you try to contain this ever-growing threat. I especially like the diversity of enemies in this game. They really took their time to create some nasty monsters. The game itself is basically Left 4 Dead just with aliens. I think it's great, and 81% of Steam reviews are also positive. Severed Steel. Here you will play as a woman named Steel. You have a prosthetic arm and you use it to navigate the levels, which adds an interesting and unique element to the gameplay. And although Steel has no arm, she's not armless, if you know what I mean. Honestly, here you'll find a huge arsenal of arms, just not arms. The game's physics engine can be a little bit wild at times, which makes for some hilarious moments when enemies get flung around like ragdolls. And with a killer soundtrack that perfectly matches the game's pace, Severed Steel is really fun to play. Whether you are a hardcore FPS fan or just looking for a casual game, I think it's worth your time. It has more than 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and that is always a proof of a good game. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I really do recommend playing the first part before diving into the second one. Not because you won't understand what is happening, but because the first part is way cheaper, and it is actually a very good game that will introduce you to the characters and the world of this franchise. Anyway, if you don't care about that, or have already played it, you can jump straight into the second one. The game will explain everything, you don't need to worry about that. So here, like in the Witcher series, you won't be able to create your own character, but we'll have to dive into the story as Henry, a dude who went on a quest to avenge his murdered parents and from a simple working class man became an experienced warrior. So in the second part you will shape Henry's destiny further. Go from bustling city streets to lush forest and feel the clash of steel as you slay your enemies left and right. Well, that won't be easy. The game makes you actually use your motoric skills if you want to actually slay anything and not be slain like a filthy pineapple and potato salad loving simpleton. Anyway, medieval Europe awaits you here, with all its beauty, glory and horror. No dragons, no elves, only brutal reality of the days long gone.
Turnip boy robs a bank.
That dude is a real menace, and he's ready to commit more felonies in this comedic action-adventure game with roguelike elements. This time the career criminal is teaming up with a fearsome pickled gang to plan and execute the most notorious heist of all time. You will have to shake down hostages, steal precious valuables, and explore the deep, dark depths and history of the botanical bank. You'll need to purchase an array of dangerous and wacky tools from the dark web. However, bank robbing isn't easy, so be prepared prepared for intense shootouts with security vegetables and elite SWAT teams. People on Steam aren't holding their horses when they speak about the game. Almost unanimously people are praising the title and calling it a masterpiece. Although keep in mind that it is quite short, it will take from 6 to 10 hours to beat. X4 Foundations. This is a space sandbox game where thousands of ships and stations trade, mine and produce. In this universe you can grow from being the lone pilot of a fighter ship to managing a vast empire, commanding your fleets and designing colossal space stations. The game is single player, so all this goodness is entirely your adventure. Here you'll encounter first-person action, boarding ships and visiting their bridges, and will have to put your filthy fingers on expansive strategy and management simulation. Here you will choose your own path at your own pace. You can start your journey from a number of different beginnings, and there's a number of different characters, each with their own role, set of relationships and different ships and technologies. No matter how you start, you are always free to develop in any other direction, although people are complaining about unskippable dialogues and bad controls.
And now thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time, bye.
Subscribe to ColdBeer.